Have you ever looked at the Sahara Desert and seen anything other than an endless sea of sand? What if I told you that this vast arid landscape was once a vibrant green paradise teeming with life? Today, we're embarking on an epic journey through time, uncovering the shocking story of how the world's largest hot desert was born, lived, and transformed. This isn't just a story about sand. It's a story about climate, civilization, and the incredible resilience of our planet. Let's start from the very beginning, millions of years ago. The Sahara as we know it didn't just appear overnight. Its origins lie in a complex dance of geological and climatic forces. Imagine the Earth's tectonic plates shifting, slowly pushing the African continent northward. This movement altered ocean currents and atmospheric patterns, setting the stage for dramatic climate swings. But over eons, this region cycled between wet and dry periods. A planetary rhythm dictated by subtle shifts in Earth's orbit, known as Milankovitch cycles. These cycles changed the amount of solar radiation the region received, effectively flipping a switch between a lush, wet landscape and a dry, barren one. For millions of years, the Sahara was in a constant state of flux, a canvas repeatedly painted and then wiped clean by nature. Now, let's rewind to a time that feels almost like science fiction. A period known as the African Humid Period, or the Green Sahara. As recently as 11,000 years ago, the landscape was unrecognizable. Where we now see towering dunes, picture sprawling grasslands, dense woodlands, and vast networks of rivers and lakes. One of these, Mega Lake Chad, was larger than the Caspian Sea, a colossal body of fresh water in the heart of North Africa. This green paradise was home to an incredible array of wildlife. Giraffes, elephants, crocodiles, and hippos roamed freely. It was a world brimming with life, a stark contrast to the hyper-arid desert we see today. And where there's abundant water and wildlife, humans are never far behind. This Green Sahara was a cradle for early human settlement. Hunter-gatherer communities thrived, drawn by the plentiful resources. They didn't just survive, they built societies, developed cultures, and left behind an extraordinary record of their lives. How do we know all this? The clues are etched in stone. Across the desert, on rock faces, and in hidden caves, we find thousands of stunning engravings and paintings. This is the world's largest gallery of prehistoric art. These images are a vivid window into their world, depicting not just the animals they hunted, but also scenes of daily life, people swimming, herding cattle, and performing rituals. It's a breathtaking testament to a lost world, a human story preserved in the rock for millennia. Archaeologists have also unearthed tools, pottery, and even the remains of settlements, painting an increasingly detailed picture of these ancient Saharan cultures. Animated maps, based on sediment cores and archaeological data, can help us visualize the sheer extent of the rivers and lakes that once crisscrossed this land, showing exactly where these ancient peoples lived and thrived. But every paradise has its end, starting around 5,500 years ago. The celestial clockwork that had brought the rains began to shift once more. The Earth's orbital tilt changed again, reducing the solar energy reaching the northern hemisphere in the summer. This weakened the African monsoon, the engine that drove the life-giving rains. The change was shockingly abrupt in geological terms. What followed was a dramatic process of desertification. The Great Lakes began to shrink, the rivers dried up, and the lush vegetation withered away, replaced by hardy desert scrub. The once green landscape slowly but surely gave way to sand and rock. For the people and animals that called the Sahara home, it was a catastrophe. They were forced to make a choice: adapt or migrate. Many followed the receding water sources, moving towards the Nile Valley in the east or south into the Sahel region. This massive climate-driven migration had profound consequences, arguably contributing to the concentration of populations along the Nile, and helping to catalyze the rise of one of the world's greatest ancient civilizations, Pharaonic Egypt. The end of the Green Sahara was not just an environmental event, it was a major turning point in human history. As the desert solidified, it didn't become a barrier. Instead, it transformed into a new kind of highway. The introduction of the camel, the ship of the desert, revolutionized travel and trade, giving birth to the legendary Trans-Saharan trade routes. For over 1,000 years, from roughly the 8th century to the 16th century. Massive caravans, sometimes thousands of camels strong, traversed the unforgiving landscape. They carried immense wealth, gold from West Africa traveling north, and salt textiles and other goods traveling south. This trade wasn't just about commodities. It was a conduit for ideas, cultures, and religions. Islam spread along these routes, and great centers of learning and commerce flourished on the desert's edge. Cities like Timbuktu and Gao became legendary, their names synonymous with wealth and scholarship. Powerful empires such as the Ghana, Mali, and Songhai empires rose and fell, their fortunes intrinsically linked to their control over these vital desert arteries. The Sahara, once a green paradise, was now a golden bridge connecting North Africa with the rest of the continent, shaping the economic and cultural destiny of a huge part of the world. Today, the Sahara is far from an empty wasteland. It is a place of incredible diversity and significance. It's home to millions of people, including nomadic groups like the Tuareg and Tabu, whose ancestors mastered the art of desert survival centuries ago. Their rich cultures are a living link to the Sahara's deep past. The desert is also a critical region for the planet. Its dust, carried by winds across the Atlantic, fertilizes the Amazon rainforest and influences weather patterns as far away as the Americas. It's also at the forefront of the renewable energy revolution, with its abundant sunshine making it a prime location for vast solar power projects that could one day power continents. However, the Sahara is also expanding southward, a process of desertification accelerated by modern climate change and land use practices, posing a serious threat to the communities living on its fringes in the Sahel. Understanding the Sahara's past transformations gives us a crucial perspective on our planet's future. It's a powerful reminder of how quickly climates can change and how civilizations must adapt to survive. From a green paradise to a sea of sand, a center of ancient culture to a hub of global trade, the Sahara story is one of dramatic and constant transformation. It teaches us that landscapes we think of as permanent are anything but. They are dynamic, living systems that respond to forces both planetary and human. The Sahara is not just a desert. It's a history book written in sand, stone, and stars, holding lessons that are more relevant today than ever before. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey. If you were fascinated by the story of the Green Sahara, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into our planet's amazing history. See you next time.